What's going on, Giants fans? It's Thursday. I'm on my way home from work. Pretty boring day, so I figured I'd hop on since a little bit of shit has happened yesterday and this morning. First things first, if you were not aware, yesterday our beloved stupid fucking owner, John Mara, addressed the media. This scumbag was supposed to have a live press conference streamed on NFL Network as well as Giants.com. But at the last minute, he decided to scrap that idea, and he recorded it himself and showed it later on. But it was not live. Now I have to pull over. There's a fucking ambulance coming. So he scrapped the idea probably because he didn't want to take as many questions as he knew that was going to be asked of him. He was probably very embarrassed how pathetic his team has been under his watch since Tom Coughlin's firing, and that he knew that he just didn't care to show how embarrassing his life really is right now. So he addressed the media on his time, on his terms, and each reporter was only allowed to ask one question. One reporter, I forget his name, asked him if in his entirety of owning the Giants and working for the New York Giants, is this the lowest of the lows for him, and is this the most embarrassed he has been? And John Mara thankfully was honest, and he admitted that, yes, this is the most embarrassing thing he has ever seen or witnessed from his team. And hopefully that's what's going to get us over the hump of being a terrible fucking franchise. Hopefully John Mara has looked himself in the mirror and he's realized that he has been the problem this whole time, and that his way of doing things is not working out, and he needs to step the fuck back, hire the football guys that he thinks are the right men for the job. Let the GM that he hires handle the player personnel, handle the coaching staff hirings, and go from there. You are the owner. Your job is to just sign checks and answer questions when asked upon, and nothing else. You are not a football guy. Your family members are not football guys. They're family members. Leave them out of the football fucking personnel. Leave them out of fucking scouting department. Leave them be. Worry about signing fucking checks and paying the two other stupid coaches that you have to pay now to do jack shit and get paid like Joe Judge, get paid millions of dollars for the next 3 fucking years, just like Pat Shurmur has been being paid by you to do absolutely fucking nothing. Pat Shurmur was just fired by the Broncos. He is still, I believe, getting paid by John Mara and the Giants, as well as Joe Judge, as well as recently Ben McAdoo. I think his contract was officially up, and he is no longer being paid. But it looks like the Giants are still paying 3 fucking coaches. I say 3 because when we hire a new coach, I think that's going to be 3 coaches that they're all going to pay. So thankfully, John Mara admitted that his fuck up is on his fucking time and his fucking dime, and that he is the man responsible for why this team fucking sucks. In other news, he has also said in this press conference, the GM will have full authority to hire, fire, sign, trade, cut anyone they want. Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are among the players that he said are not safe. He said no one's safe, and Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley were mentioned, were mentioned that they were not safe. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied, trying to drive this New Jersey traffic and talk at the same time. Kind of difficult. Trying my best here. So Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are not safe. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I love both players. I got their jerseys the day they were drafted. I got Daniel Jones' jersey the day he came back against the Buccaneers and won us that game in his first rookie start. It's going to pain me to see them both go. But if I had to keep one, I would rather keep Jones. Give him 1 more year. He's on a cheap rookie contract. Pick up his 5th. Let him play. Don't even pick up his 5th-year option yet. Let him play out next season. Bring in some competition. If you were to draft a quarterback in the 2nd and 3rd round, that's one thing. But maybe bring in a veteran. Bring in some competition. Don't just anoint him the starter. Let's bring in some competition. Let's see how he does. Because beforehand, all he really was competing against was Eli Manning. And Eli knew that his time was up. Eli knew that Jones was going to be eventually replacing him. So he really didn't have that much of a competition going forward. this year might be different. New coach, new fucking GM. I say bring in competition, make him earn that starting position, and then give him this year to see what he can do. Hopefully with a revamped offensive line. Hopefully with a totally revamped coaching staff. Hopefully with a revamped coach that the players enjoy playing for, because apparently Joe Judge was on his last leg. Players hated him. Coaches were miserable working for him. Practices were not fun. No one seemed to like him. So hopefully they hire a good guy that players play hard for and the players like. As well as the Giants just wrapped up, I think, several GM interviews. Deshaun from Buffalo. They wrapped up with Quentin Harris as well from Arizona, as well as Adrian Wilson from Arizona. There are plethora of interviews coming up ahead, and a lot more candidates are calling in. They, especially since Joe Judge has been fired, they are now saying, reports are saying that since Joe Judge is firing, more guys are more interested now than ever to be the next GM of the Giants. They know how beloved this franchise is. They know how hard it is to win in New York. And they also know is if you win in New York, you are a fucking god. All you got to do is win once, and you are a god forever in our hearts. And they know the Giants are a beloved, historic, vaunted franchise. And they want to be that guy to turn it around. And I don't blame them, you know. Just like when I was playing NCAA football before they dismantled that. I always like to pick the colleges that didn't get any good recruits, colleges that weren't really popular, and I wanted to turn them into a national championship, especially with the franchise being as piss poor as the Giants have been the last decade, other than that one Super Bowl victory. A good GM, you know, a player wants to be remembered historically. They want to turn this fucking team around, so that's why we're getting a lot of candidates applying for this position. And before I wrap up this video, another rumor has circulated. I forget as well. I think it's some unknown guy, but apparently his Twitter is verified. I forget his name at the top of my head. Apparently there's a rumor that Deshaun Watson, the pervert fuck that molested, whatever, sexually assaulted at least 23 women, who I think is guilty, but time will tell. As long as they go to court, we'll see what happens. The truth will always prevail. Apparently Deshaun Watson had decided that he would waive his no-trade clause to be a New York Giant. I don't want him at all. I don't care what you say. Someone like that, even if people assume anything that you did something wrong, I don't want it. Too much of a headache. It would be a fucking crisis, a public relations mess for the Giants, and their PR team is already terrible, offering free fucking Pepsis to the fans. Deshaun Watson, ixnay that, 86 that idea. That would not be right. The Texans would want way too much. No, I don't want him. But, on the other hand, no, fuck it. I don't want him. I don't want him. We would have to give up way too much. I want to keep both our first-round picks this year, and I want to keep our first-round pick next year. It's a lot different when we traded Phillip Rivers for Eli Manning in the draft. Both quarterbacks didn't have sexual assault charges on them. Both quarterbacks were rookies coming into their year, and they would be both on a rookie contract, which is very, very cheap compared to what Deshaun Watson is getting paid and compared to what Deshaun Watson would want to be paid by us. So I don't want to trade for him. No way now. Keep what you got. If you have to draft a quarterback in the draft. Maybe go after Aaron Rodgers for a year or two. I'd rather trade for Russell Wilson or Rodgers before I ever trade for Deshaun Watson. If he didn't get himself in this fucking mess, that's one thing. I'd be all about it, because he is a fucking beast. He has a fucking arm. He's mobile. He's the real fucking deal. But with the amount of headaches that would cause this team and the distraction in the locker room, no fucking way. Not happening. Kiss that goodbye. And knowing how the Giants operate, knowing John Mara, he would not want that as well. So those are the three things I just wanted to discuss on here real quick. I'm going to keep this video short as I'm almost home. So yeah, John Mara finally spoke. He admitted that he fucking sucks and that he needs to do better. Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones are not safe on this team, and possibly both or one of them could be traded come off season. And number three, the rumor Deshaun Watson wanted to waive his no-trade clause to be a New York Giant. Don't know how true that is. I will read into it more and get back to you guys. And I will continue you guys to update on more GM interviews as well as head coach possibilities. Until then, Giants fans, stay safe. God bless you, and go Giants.